Hello traders, good morning. I am Stephen Davis, Senior Market Strategist, RJO Futures, here to talk to you about the grain markets. Okay, the corn market. We're about 50-60% through on harvest, so weather looks pretty good going forward here. Our first chart today is the daily corn chart. Remember last week I mentioned the 100-day moving average for corn? Well, look at this. We're up into the 100-day moving average. So that's pretty impressive. Even this chart, you can notice yesterday you had a daily reversal down, and here we are higher this morning. So that's impressive in the short term. When markets don't go down on bearish news, and the bearish news is the big corn production, they're not bearish anymore. So we'll move forward here with soybeans. Soybeans about 70% harvested in our great country. The way the weather looks, maybe next week we're going to be done with the soybean harvest. Our next chart is the soybean chart. Look at this chart. We're above the 200-day moving average. Look at that line there that I put there. So the biggest soybean crop in the history of the USA, and we're above the 200-day moving average. Technically, this is very important. Okay, we're going to need export sales announcements on a daily basis with soybeans. It seems like that's the norm here going forward. So we'll keep talking about that. The wheat market, okay, Romania, Ukraine, and Russia. They're the big wheat suppliers to Egypt now this time. And Egypt's the biggest wheat buyer in the world today, okay? So here's our chart of wheat, and you can see it's getting a little bit tired. You had a short covering rally last week, and a lot of times wheat is in a following mode, following corn and soybeans higher. There's a lot of wheat in the world. Remember last week I touched on how North America, Canada, and USA used to be 75% big exporter to the world. We used to sell all the wheat that Egypt wanted, and now you can see Ukraine, Romania, Russia, that part of the world, a very big player in wheat today. So going forward, watch crude oil. It's trying to get above $50. If it can do that and stay above there, that's positive for soybeans and corn. And also the stock market here, nervous on a daily basis as it usually is in October. And we'll get the presidential election out of the way here in a couple of weeks. And it looks like these markets, these grain markets, soybeans and corn could rally, give the U.S. farmer an early Christmas present going into the end of the year. Have an excellent weekend.